We are just less than a week away from free agency. The Titans have the most cap space in the NFL. And of course, multiple wide receivers have been linked and listed as perfect destinations for the Tennessee Titans. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. And I will say this, the Titans have the cap space to sign pretty much anybody that they wanted to. They have over $100 million in cap. So they could go out and give a guy like, let me not list the name here, but a guy, top wide receiver for $30 million, and also go out and give an edge rusher, maybe a guy like Trey Hendrickson. Not saying it's going to happen, but they can also give him a boatload of money. So they can sign anybody. So it's going to be an active free agency, and that's why you subscribe to the channel, ladies and gentlemen, so you stay up to date. When the Titans make a move, and they are going to make a lot, they are going to be aggressive in free agency, we got you covered. So if you want to know all the moves that are going on, go ahead, hit that sub button right now. 2 wide receivers have been linked to the Tennessee Titans, and let's talk about them. The first one, I think all of you guys have heard these rumors before, and that's Wan'Dale Robinson, the wide receiver that would be coming over from the New York Giants. He is looking for a new contract, and pretty much it's already written in the walls that Wan'Dale most likely is going to be a Tennessee Titan because another insider has listed him coming over to Tennessee. This has just been a reoccurrence over and over and over. Who's the number one guy that the people think are going to go to a certain team? It's Wan'Dale and the Tennessee Titans. Here's what Jonathan Jones of CBS Sports had to say just about Robinson. They said the lack of Tennessee interest in Mike Evans may be because the Titans have their eyes on Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale. Sources say Nashville could be the landing spot for Robinson, and there are obvious reasons why. Titans have more than $90 million in cap space and have a huge need at wide receiver. Robinson's only 25 years old, coming off a career year in New York with 1,000 yards receiving, and going to Tennessee would reunite him with his former head coach Brian Daboll. And now the offensive coordinator with the Titans, Robinson, is a Kentucky native, played high school football 3 hours up I-65 from Music City. Shout out to Wan'Dale being from Kentucky, you know, my stomping grounds for college, and I worked there for a couple years. But there are multiple outlets that are reporting that Wan'Dale is going to the Titans, or interested in the Titans. I should say that before locking it in. SNY, Fox Sports, and now CBS Sports have all linked Robinson to the Titans. And where there's smoke, of course there's fire. I think this is the worst kept secret in the entire NFL because I have heard it from ESPN. I have heard it from multiple outlets. Here. And all of them say Wan'Dale to the Titans seems like it's going to be. Fox Sports had their prediction. They said Wan'Dale to the Titans. And then a couple days ago, Connor Hughes of SNY, they talked about, the possibility of Wan'Dale re-signing with the Giants, and it said could be the most difficult to retain. His market is expected to be strong, and the Titans have significant interest. So right there, it's going to be hard to keep him in the place that drafted him, the place where he's been the last couple of seasons, because he's interested in the Tennessee Titans. And I think this would be an upgrade for the wide receiver position. Look, Wan'Dale is your perfect slot receiver. He is going to always catch the ball. Look at the numbers he's had the last 2 years. 90 receptions. I know it's not for a lot of yards. You could see only 1,011 yards per catch average, but the touchdowns are there. But when you need 5 to 7 yards, Wan'Dale Robinson is a slot that is going to be there for you. And it's not going to cost a lot of money. I said before, the Titans have $100 million in cap space. It's only going to cost you, market value according to Spotrac is going to be 4 years and $70.5 million. So do the math there. That is less than $20 million. That's about $17 million a year. That is good for a top slot receiver in the NFL. That's not going to obviously be your number one guy. That is going to be your number 2 or even your number 3. Cheap deal. I think that'd be the perfect fit for the Titans. So you can go out and give that type of contract to Wan'Dale and still go after another top wide receiver with the amount of cap space that you have. You pay him $70 million. That goes about 15 to 17 to the cap. And then you still have over $80 million to do with whatever you want to sign another wide receiver, which I could be talking about on the back half of the show. We'll get to another wide receiver that has been linked to the Tennessee Titans. But first, I want to ask you guys, do you want the Titans to sign Wan'Dale Robinson? You let me know down in the comments section. Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. I think they need a slot wide receiver, so I'm going right ahead and typing my Y's down in the comments section. We're going to get to the other wide receiver in just a second, but first I got to tell you about our sponsor of today's show, and that is PrizePicks. Shoot your shot on PrizePicks and get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. That's right, PrizePicks is now giving you $50 in lineups when you sign up and play your first $5. PrizePicks makes every dunk, every dime, every board that much more exciting. So don't miss this chance to get started on America's #1 app for sports picks. PrizePicks is simple to play. Just pick more or less than 2 to 6 player stat projections, and if your picks are right, you could cash in. You have the early payouts feature, so if your player gets out to a hot start, you have the option to cash out those winnings before the game even finishes. And it takes 2 seconds to make a lineup. I'm exaggerating. 30 seconds to make a lineup. You can go basketball. You can go baseball. You can go hockey. You can go esports. All the options are there on PrizePicks, but you got to download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Let's get to the second wide receiver that has been linked to the Tennessee Titans, and that is Alec Pierce. Probably the #1 wide receiver in this free agent market of 2026. And why could the Titans target Alec Pierce? Well, it's pretty much one reason. Or 2 reasons, I should say. They need a wide receiver, and they also have the amount of cap space to go out and sign a guy like Alec Pierce. But the question is, should you go and target Alec Pierce? There is a possibility that he re-signs with the Indianapolis Colts after his big year in 2025 because everybody thought that he was going to get the franchise tag, but the Colts decided, no, we're going to put the transition tag on Daniel Jones, and that means that Alec Pierce is going to be a free agent. He's going to hit that market, and he loves the option that he gets to hit the market. He gets to see his price tag. He gets to see the amount of money that is being offered to him, so he gets to have that market, that open market where he can go and talk to any single team. Only because Daniel Jones got transition tagged. Like I said before, I didn't think that Daniel Jones was going to get tagged. I thought it was going to be Alec Pierce, and he was going to be staying right there put in Indianapolis. And a lot of teams thought so too. But now that he's not, all the teams are going to be interested in him. And Alec Pierce, he went on, I think it was Kay Adams' podcast, and he talked about being a free agent, and he said, I love Indy. But at this point, I kind of earned the right to explore free agency to see what's out there. And I mean, I agree with him, but I don't know if you're worth the amount of money that it is. But ESPN talked about it, and they said this about Alec Pierce. With the Titans in position to be active in free agency, I like Pierce in Tennessee under new offensive coordinator Brian Daboll. Pierce has the vertical stretch ability to produce down the field and can play a volume rate at a multi-level target for quarterback Cam Ward. Pierce has averaged a league-best 21.3 yards per catch with the Colts in 2025. And look, he had a great year in 2025. 47 catches on 1,000 yards, which is unbelievable with only 1 drop and 6 touchdowns. But if you look at the prior seasons before that, that's where I'm like, man, it's taken you this long to get 1,000 yards, and you're supposed to be the #1 wide receiver. It's a difference between him and Wan'Dale Robinson, when Wan'Dale is just getting 1,000 yards now, but he's also, his market value is $70 million. Market value for Alec Pierce is 4 years, 80.9. And I think, personally, that he is going to get a lot more. When you are the best wide receiver in free agency, there's going to be some team out there that is going to pay a ton of money for Alec Pierce. So I think that he could get 25 to 30 million a year. And is he worth that? Yes, he would help out this Titans wide receiver core because it's weak. Let's be honest here. It's weak. But are you willing to give Alec Pierce $30 million or $25 million to be a wide receiver 1 when he's never even proved it? He's done this for 1 season, just 1. Do you think he's going to go out there after having 1 good season and just be this amazing wide receiver after it took 4 years? I'm not so sure, but I will say we'll go back to the wide receiver depth chart for the Tennessee Titans. And right now, Oh, it's not good. Calvin Ridley, I put a star there for pending free agent. He's most likely to be cut, and I guarantee that he's probably going to get cut. But Alec Manor is still there. Chamiri DK, those are your two rookies. But Van Jefferson and James Prochet is going to be a free agent. So you're looking at right now your wide receiver core going to be Alec Manor, Chamiri DK, and Bryce Oliver. You have to upgrade that, whether that be at Wan'Dale or that be at Alec Pierce. I'm not so sure Alec Pierce is going to be a number one wide receiver. He'd be a good number two, and he'd be an amazing number three, but is he worth $25 million? Not 100% sure. You tell me, though. What do you guys think? Get me down in the let me know down in the comments section. Type your S for signs or type your P's for pass. It is going to be very quickly on the moves that the Titans do in free agency, and you know we got you covered here on the channel. So hit that sub button. You are going to see signings after signings after signings, because the Titans also have to spend $50 million to get on that cap a requirement for the NFL. So stay up to date. Hit that sub button right now, and as always, tighten up.